Hi, I'm here in my kitchen again, making use of some leftover cereal from a recipe that one of my East Coast mommies, Lady Omi, was gracious enough to share. I don't know about you, but we, being a family of 6, tend to use a lot of cereal. And you know how sometimes you get down to like the end of the box where it's too much to kind of throw away, but it's not enough to really make extra cereal. So, you know, we have a lot of little leftover cereals like that, like where there's like hardly anything in here. So she gave a recipe, she shared a recipe, what to do with leftover cereals. Make some cake. So let's get started. So right here, the cereal that I'm using is some leftover Vanilla Island, which is kind of like a shredded wheat kind of cereal. And I have some puffed camel wheat and some puffed wheat cereal, which, I mean, there's like barely anything in here. I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of canola oil, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk, maybe about a teaspoon or so of vanilla extract, but you can use any kind of extract you want, 6 teaspoons of baking powder, about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and just to spice it up, I'm going to throw in a couple of tablespoons or so of some unsweetened cocoa. And to sweeten it, instead of using sugar, I'm going to use this leftover brown rice syrup and some leftover honey. And I already have 3 eggs out. So if you're using a cereal like a really hard grain cereal, like a grape nuts or some kind of granola-ish type cereal, she suggested that you soak it in some of the milk for about an hour. So I'm soaking my shredded wheat, this was like a cup of shredded wheat, and I poured in a cup of milk. So I'm like soaking this until it gets, you know, I want it to be kind of mushy. Like, I don't want crunchy cake. I mean, I guess you could have crunchy cake, but you know, I kind of like my cake to be moist. Okay, so what I have here are 3 cups of my little puffed wheat cereal, and I have a cup of my shredded wheat cereal. So in total, you'll need 4 cups of cereal, any kind of cereal that you want to use, and you're going to use 2 cups of milk. Okay, so I'm going to add my remaining 1 cup of milk to my puffy rice, and I'm just kind of going to stir that around a little bit. And the puffed rice cereal is not as hard as the shredded wheat cereal, but it has a little bit of a crunch to it, so I'll probably just let that sit for maybe about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add my 2 cups of flour to this mix. Over here, see how the milk has totally absorbed inside of my my shredded wheat. Well, it's not shredded wheat, Island vanilla, whatever the heck the cereal's called. So this one will be good to go. Okay, so I have my cereal that, I mean, it's nice and incorporated now. You can't even see the milk that I put in it, and this cereal is good to go as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my 1 cup of Vanilla Island cereal with my 3 cups of puffy wheat cereal. I have my dry ingredients here, which is 2 cups of flour, 6 teaspoons of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and just for something a little extra, I threw in 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. So I'm just going to kind of give that a little stir just to kind of mix the ingredients. Okay, so my cereal's all mixed up. I have my 3 eggs right here. So these are 3 whole eggs, not separated or anything like that. So I just poured that into the cereal and milk mixture, and I'm going to stir that up, and then I'm going to add my oil and my brown rice syrup. Okay, so I'm going to add my ½ cup of oil into the cereal egg mixture, and then I'm going to add about a cup of brown rice syrup, and use this this leftover honey that I have. So I just poured my cup of honey in there. I'm going to get that mixed up, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm adding my teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to give it a stir, and then I'm going to pour my dry ingredients that I have over here into the mix. So I'm just going to kind of pour it on top like that and give it a good mixing up. So my mix is all done. I have my little bundt angel food cake pan or whatever all oiled up. So I'm just going to add this in there and then put it into my 350-degree preheated oven. Okay, so I'm all ready to go, and I'm just going to now take this over to the oven. My oven's already been preheated, so it's nice and hot in there, and I'm just going to stick this baby in. So since I'm doing a bundt, using a bundt pan, I'm probably going to let it cook in there for I'm going to set the timer for about 45 minutes, but maybe after about 35 minutes or so, you might want to check it, or once you kind of start to smell it, to make sure that it's not burned. You could also make little little mini muffins, little cupcakes, or you can do like a fourth of a sheet, like the sheet pan. So depending on how you're going to bake them, if you're going to use the 8-inch or 9-inch cake pans, or if you're going to use muffin pans, or if you're going to use a sheet pan, then that's how long it needs to cook. So since the bundt pans are kind of deep, you really want to make sure that it's cooked all the way through, because no one wants any surprise middles when it's not a putting in the middle cake. So I'm going to set my little timer here, and I'm going to set it for about 45. Maybe I'll do it for like 40 minutes, and then just kind of go from there. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so my 40-minute timer just went off, and I did the toothpick insertion in the middle, and it came out clean. So I am just going to place this, well actually I kind of want to place it on my little trivet here, or trivet, whatever you call this little thing that keeps stuff out off the countertops. Okay, so it looks really good, and it smells yummy. So I'm going to let this cool for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to pop this bad boy out onto a plate. Okay, so here's the cake, fresh from the oven, and it actually smells really good. It kind of has this chocolatey spice-ish smell to it. So what I have over here is about a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, like a dash of cinnamon, and probably about a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cocoa powder. And I'm just going to dust it over the top of the cake, and I'm done. Okay, so here's the finished product with the powdered sugar mix on top, and here's what the cake looks like. it kind of looks like a spice cake, and it smells like really yummy. So there you go, folks. If you need a recipe on what to do with the leftover cereal that kind of lingers around the cabinets in the dead zone, you can use it to make cake. Enjoy.